Hi my fellow Fude friends, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to showcase my Koyudo Kolinsky brushes to my ShouShouLang customized Kolinsky brushes. So I'll be going over the differences, similarities, and dimensions of each brush and just give my final thoughts overall. So I hope this video is helpful. And here we go. So we've got the Koyudo Raden Kolinsky Scattered Sakura Large Eyeshadow Brush. This is 18 millimeters in length, and the ferrule size is 9 millimeters. So I did pick mine up the most recent launch. So as you can see, mine is more pointy. I really admired the original releases that were more of that spade shape, which is what really prompted me to get my ShouShouLang Custom. So my ShouShouLang Custom is actually the same length. So it's 18 millimeters, 9 millimeter ferrule. It's also a large eye blending brush, but I got it to how I wanted the Koyudo to be. I don't regret having the Koyudo because I do have smaller eyes, and where it is more tapered, it is really useful when you're somebody that has smaller eyes, but it is nice having the ShouShouLang version. And there's definitely a color difference. I would say not by much, but the Koyudo looks just a little bit darker. The ShouShouLang has a really beautiful golden tone to it. Softness wise, oh, it's so hard. They're both very soft, but I would say the Koyudo might be just ever so slightly softer, but really not by much. And you can hear the snapback the Koyudo has. ShouShouLang also has a really nice snapback. And they're both really lovely blending brushes. Especially the ShouShouLang has really good blending power. Because it is so dense, it really does buff and blend out eyeshadows really beautifully. So I highly recommend the ShouShouLang version if you missed out on the Koyudo. And also the ShouShouLang is a better alternative price-wise because the Koyudo, very expensive. That brush was about $150 US, whereas my ShouShouLang was under 70. So big price difference, and you're really not sacrificing quality when it comes to ShouShouLang. So the next brush is the star of the show, in my opinion. So this is the Koyudo Super Kolinsky Sakura Cherry Blossom Cheek Brush. And this one is 37 millimeters in length, 18 millimeter ferrule. And look at that written design. It is just stunning. And here's the hair. It is extremely luxury, extremely soft. I was very lucky to be able to get this brush from Tashiya when he had that restock. And wow, this brush is incredible. Just look at that movement on the skin. I never thought I'd be lucky enough to own this brush, especially in this original Raden design. And it's got the Yoshiki engraving. Just stunning. What a true work of art this brush is, and it is extremely soft. I wanted to read off what CD Japan had on their website, just for the verbiage of this brush. So they said the Russian-made Kolinsky hair features long, resilient bristles and are highly valued as luxury items. The hair quality is thinner and longer and more delicate than normal weasel's hair, and has a softly pleasant, consistent texture. Normally, Kolinsky brushes are used to make eyeshadow and concealer brushes, but in this instance, Koyudo used the longest, most expensive, and high-quality Kolinsky hair to create this rare, unique facial brush with Japanese traditional craft Raden. Raden is a style and technique in Japanese lacquerware and woodwork using inlays of shell and ivory to decorate pieces that usually have a wood base. The shells used include mother of pearl, abalone, and other types. And just beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Again, the Raden designs on these brushes are beautiful, and they all vary because they're handmade. They're all going to have different shifts to them. So you can see this one, the coloring is much different, and it really doesn't shift nearly as much as this one does. So I really, really appreciate this Raden. It is just so beautiful. I love it. Of course, the brush that I want to compare to this one is my ShouShouLang. So this one is also, let me see. Actually, this one's 1 millimeter shorter. So 36 millimeter length, same ferrule size as the Koyudo 18 millimeter ferrule. And I got this one before I ever thought I'd have a chance to own the Koyudo. And the ShouShouLang is beautiful as well. And here's the color difference. I would say the Koyudo is a little darker. ShouShouLang is more goldeny, whereas the Koyudo almost has like a goldeny amber brown color. It's just stunning. Absolutely beautiful. Softness, ShouShouLang is very soft. It is very close to the Koyudo, if I'm being honest. However, the Koyudo is ever so slightly softer because the bristles, they have a little bit more movement. I think it's because my ShouShouLang is very dense, which is great because it's wonderful for creams and liquids. I know with Kolinsky, it is advertised where you can use with creams or liquids. I don't feel comfortable using my Koyudo with creams or liquids just because the hairs are so precious. So I would prefer to use my ShouShouLang with creams or liquids, personally. I feel like this brush is just way too precious to use with creams or liquids. But here they are compared. And again, my ShouShouLang has really nice movement to the bristles as well. Beautiful. They're still very, very luxurious. Beautiful coloring to the bristles. But the Koyudo just dances on the skin. It's got beautiful movement. I actually used the Koyudo with blush and I loved it. So just a beautiful brush. But again, so is the ShouShouLang. It's very soft, still luxury. So for those who have missed out on the Koyudo, ShouShouLang Kolinsky brushes are a wonderful alternative. I've showed these two on my channel as well before. This is my, let's see, 35 millimeter, 20 millimeter ferrule paddle shaped Kolinsky cheek brush. Absolutely beautiful. And I've mentioned this on my channel before, but this is also my 40 millimeter length, 23 millimeter ferrule paddle shaped face cheek brush. And as you can see, there's going to always be different batches of Kolinsky. This one is much darker, this one's more light. You can really see the coloring difference. And then we'll put the Koyudo with them. You can really get a sense of the different types of Kolinsky, especially where the Koyudo, they say it's Russian Kolinsky. So it's got that deep amber tone. This is a little bit more goldeny, and this is just a little bit deeper. So they really have their own characteristics, which makes them so unique and just so beautiful. I would say ShouShouLang's most recent batch of Kolinsky, which is my bigger powder brush, this one is softer. So, yeah, this one is softer than these two. These are more goldeny, This, and this were all from the same batch. So you can tell that they're more goldeny, which I do love that golden hue. But this batch is their most recent, and it's really fine. It actually kind of reminds me of the Koyudo, where the hairs are just very, very fine, and they've got a little bit more glide on the skin. Just gorgeous. I've used this brush with powders, and it is just pure luxury, and it's absolutely stunning. You can really see how fine the hairs are. Just a gorgeous brush, but it still has that typical Kolinsky snapback. That's honestly probably one of my most favorite brushes in my collection, especially having Kolinsky in that 40mm length is just super rare. And I just love paddle shaped brushes. They're my favorite, so it's just a true standout. The last brush I wanted to show as well is my small tapered Kolinsky eye brush from ShouShouLang. So this is 16mm length, 6.5mm ferrule. And because I have small eyes, this is like the perfect size eye blender brush. Just stunning. Here it is next to the Koyudo large Kolinsky eye brush. And then here's the coloring difference, which these two look very, very similar. And then we'll compare it with my other ShouShouLang large Kolinsky eye brush. Just gorgeous. I love having the different sizes and shapes of the Kolinsky in my collection, so I do not regret owning the Koyudo version, but I love my ShouShouLang custom Kolinsky eye brushes. They're just stunning. And I would say, you know, it's not a massive difference to warrant getting the Koyudo. I know you get the beautiful Raden design on the handle, but these ShouShouLang brushes, the quality is just unbelievable. They're both very soft, so you're most certainly not skimping out in quality for the hair, you know. And I really like the classic handles. They're just beautiful. The red sandalwood handles with the matte black ferrule. They're just really nice brushes. So difference-wise too, to be honest, I feel like my ShouShouLang Kolinsky eye brushes actually have more blending power because they're thicker. They have a lot more hair packed into the ferrules, whereas the Koyudo one, it does not have nearly as much hair packed in. You can see the difference between this one and this one, how much thicker this one really is. It has a lot of hair packed in, and it really gives it that wonderful blending power on the eyes. I feel like you could almost do a one and done eye look with this brush, and it just gives you all the blending power in the world, yet it's still very, very soft. And I'd be absolutely comfortable using these with cream and liquid shadows too. So they're really lovely. Really, really nice brushes. And I was so curious because I never thought I'd be able to own the Koyudo cheek brush, Kolinsky cheek brush. That's why I wanted to get the ShouShouLang custom brushes, because I was just curious and I had never experienced Kolinsky in cheek or face brush form. So actually having them now and comparing them, I do feel like the Koyudo cheek brush unmatched. I don't own any Takeda Kolinsky brushes, so I can't compare it to that. But comparing my ShouShouLang with the Koyudo, I will say the Koyudo cheek brush is on a level of its own, just because of how soft and fine these bristles really are. Like when I opened it and first felt it, I was like, oh yeah, this is definitely quality. It is just really, really soft. So when they say it's Russian Kolinsky, I really feel the difference between Russian Kolinsky and the batch of other Kolinsky I've tried, this is just on a level of its own. And I was super happy with the bundling of my brush because I did notice more recent launches, they looked a little thinner, like they were using less hair and the quality was going down a little bit. So I was super happy to get, this honestly looks like older stock that they had laying around somewhere because it is that perfect candle shape. And I was so satisfied with that. Not to say that my ShouShouLang isn't beautiful, because it is. They did a beautiful job bundling this brush as well. And it has a lot of hair packed in. Tons of hair packed in. So they do not skimp out on how much hair that they pack into their bristles. And they really bloom out. I'm sure you guys saw my original video of this brush before I washed it. And you can really see how much their Kolinsky blooms. And it's just got very strong blending power because there's so many bristles packed in. So I'm really excited to have the Koyudo version and the ShouShouLang because in my opinion they serve different purposes just because of the amount of hair packed in. I feel like the Kolinsky batches obviously are different, so I would feel comfortable, and I have used my ShouShouLang with creams and liquids. This brush, I was also thinking it would be wonderful for foundation because it's very dense. I love this brush. It would also be wonderful for cream bronzer, cream blush. Very soft, beautiful. I really loved this original golden hue batch that ShouShouLang had. I really did. Look at that coloring. It's just truly beautiful. But again, their most recent batch is just so incredibly soft. And it still has that golden hue to it. But again, just super soft. This brush is pure luxury as well. And if you think about it, I can only imagine what the price would have been on the Japanese market for this brush. So ShouShouLang, again, they do not skimp on quality whatsoever, but yet you're paying a fraction of the cost of what you do on the Japanese market. So to me, it is worth it. If you're wanting to try out face, cheek Kolinsky brushes or even eye brushes, I feel like ShouShouLang is definitely the way to go because the price point is great, quality is top notch, and I highly recommend all of these brushes. Absolutely beautiful. If you do see the Koyudo come back in stock at any point, highly recommend. I know the price is obviously more than what it used to be, so of course that's something to keep in mind, but if you're looking for beautiful luxury brushes, definitely snag them if you see them come back in stock. But if you're looking to, you know, try Kolinsky, I would recommend try ShouShouLang and go for their eye brushes because they're just incredible. So I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, leave them down below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.